Welcome to Golden Rule Wisdom. Today, we will explore a powerful financial concept through the compelling story of two close friends. In a vibrant Indian village, Romesh and Kishan shared everything but possessed entirely different philosophies regarding life, wealth, and future security. Their journey begins when both young men receive exactly 5,000 rupees from their fathers as initial capital for their futures. 5,000 rupees was a significant sum back then, representing a golden opportunity to build a stable and prosperous life ahead. However, the advice accompanying this generous gift was drastically different, setting the stage for two completely opposite paths of financial destiny. Romesh's father sternly advised him to save every single penny, warning that the world is unpredictable and money must be protected. Taking this advice to heart, Romesh believed that hiding his cash was the absolute best way to ensure his financial safety. He carefully dug a deep hole beneath his bedroom floorboards, placing the precious 5,000 rupees inside a sturdy wooden box. Meanwhile, Kishan's father shared a completely different perspective, teaching him that money is exactly like flowing water, which must never stagnate. Standing still means drying up, his father explained, encouraging Kishan to view wealth as a dynamic tool rather than static treasure. Romesh began working tirelessly from dawn until dusk, dedicating all his energy to earning small wages through intense, grueling daily labor. Every evening, Romesh would bring his meager earnings home, carefully burying any surplus cash into his secret underground vault for safety. He smiled proudly as the pile of currency notes slowly grew, completely convinced that his future was becoming more secure daily. Romesh denied himself any basic luxuries, wearing old clothes and eating simple meals just to maximize the amount he could bury. He felt a profound sense of accomplishment whenever he locked the wooden box, believing he was outsmarting the unpredictable economic world. Kishan, on the other hand, immediately took his 5,000 rupees to the bustling local market, seeking a profitable investment opportunity. After careful consideration and negotiation, Kishan purchased a healthy, young dairy cow, spending his entire capital on this single living asset. Many villagers mocked Kishan for spending everything at once, but he remained focused on his father's profound wisdom regarding flowing water. Kishan woke up early every morning to feed his cow, clean the shed, and collect fresh warm milk for the market. He traveled to the village square daily, selling the nutritious milk to eager customers and earning a steady, reliable daily income. Instead of hiding his profits, Kishan used a portion to buy better feed, ensuring his cow produced even more excellent quality milk. The remaining profits were carefully saved until he accumulated enough funds to purchase a second cow, effectively doubling his production capacity. Time passed quickly in the quiet village, and the seasons changed rapidly as both men continued following their chosen financial paths. 5 years flew by. Romesh was still digging up his floorboards every week, adding small bundles of cash to his collection. Romesh's physical health began to decline from the constant, back-breaking labor, but his hidden wooden box was now filled with money. During those same 5 years, Kishan's small dairy operation had naturally expanded into a thriving, bustling farm with 10 healthy cows. Kishan hired 2 local villagers to help manage the growing herd, creating valuable employment opportunities for his struggling rural community members. He also invested in basic machinery to automate the milking process, significantly increasing efficiency and boosting his overall daily profit margins. Another 5 years passed, bringing the total time to a full decade since they received their initial 5,000 rupee gifts. Romesh finally decided to count his life savings, feeling incredibly proud as the total reached an impressive 50,000 Indian rupees. He believed he was now a wealthy man, ready to provide a comfortable, peaceful life for his growing, beautiful young family. However, an invisible economic thief called inflation had been silently stealing the purchasing power of his hidden wealth over the decade. When Romesh went to the market to buy essential supplies, he was completely shocked to discover that prices had absolutely skyrocketed. A simple sack of rice that once cost 50 rupees now demanded 150 rupees from his precious savings. Everything had tripled in price, meaning his 50,000 rupees could only buy what 16,000 could have bought 10 years ago. Suddenly, his eldest son fell seriously ill, requiring immediate medical attention and expensive medicines from the distant, modern city hospital facility. Romesh, frantically dug up his wooden box, grabbing handfuls of cash to pay the steep medical bills that threatened his beloved family. The hospital expenses drained a massive portion of his savings, leaving him terrified about how quickly his saved money was disappearing. Adding to his misery, the local school significantly raised its tuition fees, demanding more cash than Romesh could comfortably afford right now. He was forced to continuously dig into his capital just to survive, watching his life savings shrink at an alarming daily rate. Desperate and confused, Romesh walked across the village to seek advice from his old friend Kishan, hoping for a financial miracle. Romesh stood in absolute awe as he approached Kishan's property, which had transformed into a massive, highly successful commercial dairy enterprise. Modern delivery trucks were lined up outside, loading thousands of liters of fresh milk to be transported directly to city supermarkets. Kishan was sitting comfortably in a beautifully furnished office, reviewing business contracts while his capable management team handled the daily farm operations. Kishan warmly welcomed his childhood friend, offering him a comfortable seat and a glass of fresh milk from his very own farm. Romesh poured his heart out, explaining how he had saved diligently for 10 years but was now facing total financial ruin. He cried about the skyrocketing prices of food, medicine, and education, unable to understand why his massive savings felt so completely worthless. Kishan listened patiently, his eyes filled with deep sympathy for the painful financial struggles his dear old friend was currently experiencing. Gently, Kishan explained the harsh reality of inflation, describing how the cost of living naturally increases as the global economy expands. "When you bury money under the floor," Kishan said, "it literally does nothing while the rest of the world moves forward. The value of paper currency constantly drops over time, meaning stagnant cash will always lose its purchasing power against rising prices." Kishan then shared his own journey, explaining how he viewed his initial 5,000 rupees as a seed rather than treasure. By purchasing a cow, he converted his cash into a productive asset that generated daily value, regardless of broader economic changes. As inflation caused milk prices to rise in the market, Kishan's daily income naturally increased, perfectly protecting him from economic hardship. His money was actively working for him, multiplying itself through careful reinvestment in more cows, better equipment, and skilled human labor. Even while Kishan was sleeping soundly at night, his business was growing in value, creating a sustainable and incredibly powerful financial system. Romesh finally understood his tragic mistake, realizing that his obsession with extreme safety had ironically caused his ultimate financial vulnerability today. He had worked incredibly hard for his money, but he had completely failed to make his money work hard for him. Kishan offered Romesh a managerial position at the dairy farm, providing a stable income and a chance to learn modern investing. Grateful for the lifeline, Romesh accepted the job immediately, promising to completely change his outdated mindset regarding wealth and personal finance. The story of Romesh and Kishan teaches us a fundamental truth about wealth building that applies to everyone in modern society. Money is merely a tool designed for exchange and growth, absolutely not a magical treasure meant to be hidden in darkness. If you simply hoard your cash in a bank account or under a mattress, you are guaranteed to lose wealth eventually. The silent tax of inflation will slowly but surely erode your purchasing power, making your saved money worth less every single year. True financial security comes from converting your cash into valuable assets that either produce steady income or appreciate in market value. Whether you choose to invest in real estate, successful businesses, stock markets, or your own education, the principle remains exactly identical. You must buy things that put money back into your pocket over time, protecting your future from the certainty of inflation. The wealthy understand that capital must flow like a river, constantly moving and nourishing new opportunities to create even more abundance. Start viewing your savings as seeds capable of growing into massive financial trees that will provide shade for your entire family. It does not require a huge fortune to begin this process. Even small, consistent investments can compound into extraordinary generational wealth. Educate yourself about different asset classes, understand the basic risks involved, and take calculated steps toward building your own financial independence. Remember that the greatest risk in life is taking no risks at all, allowing inflation to quietly destroy your future dreams. Let the contrasting journeys of Romesh and Kishan guide your financial decisions, inspiring you to build active wealth rather than stagnant savings. Thank you for exploring this vital economic lesson with us today, and we hope it transforms your perspective on personal finance. Please subscribe to Golden Rule Wisdom for more insightful stories and practical advice to help you master your wealth and life.